guys, welcome to Shlog number 4. We are back at it. It is Tuesday morning. The puppy and I are heading into the shop to get after it for the day. And it is still cold and snowy here in Montrose, Colorado, which is appropriate because it is winter. It's January 7th, and yeah, we're going to get after it today. I think I'm going to have to work on that Virago, which is just fine. I had a couple of comments giving me a hard time about giving it a hard time. And let me just make it real clear that I love anything with two wheels. And I just joke and definitely have preferences towards dirt bikes and certain bikes and things like that. So I'm just like everybody else. There's some things I like, some things I don't. The Virago 750 is not my favorite, but it doesn't mean that I'm not excited to work on it and get it ready for the person who rides it. I just, yeah, it's just not my favorite thing to work on, that's all. What do you guys think of the Shlog so far? Seems like it's been getting good views and all that on YouTube, so it seems like you guys like it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What other things you want to see me do during the Shlog? Like, I don't know. Just let me know in the comments what you think. That'd be awesome. Stoked on what's in this package. So we have a customer who's got a kid who's got an 85 KTM SX. Kid's a great rider. He's kind of out riding his 85, but he's not physically big enough to be moving on up. So we're going to put a big bore kit in it, and I'm really excited. It's a KTM factory 105 kit for, it's a 18 or 19 85 SX. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Look at that. Shiny, shiny cylinder. Super cool. Comes with a power valve already installed. That is rad. Way less work. Top end bearing. Ooh, even new jets come with it. Gaskets. New cylinder head. I'm guessing that's a piston. We got lots of base gaskets so we can get the squish right. Ah, that's the cylinder head, and that's just the insert for it, so that's cool. And CDI unit. Super duper cool. I'm telling you, I love all motorcycles. I'm kind of a big fan of Japanese motorcycles, even though, yes, that is my KTM over there. But man, KTM absolutely does the whole big bore, overbore thing right. When you decide to go from a 250 to a 300, or in this case 85 to 105, it is stinking awesome. So yeah, all the parts are there. They're all factory. It's just really nice. So that'll be coming up on another Daily Shlog later. I don't know when we're going to get to that, but probably pretty soon actually. So definitely stay tuned. Subscribe so you don't miss that, because that's going to be a cool job. Time to get to work on this thing. I'm going to start with the rear shock and go to the forks. This shock is a lot like the one I've already got a video of. I'll put a card up here so you guys can click on that video if you want to see more in-depth. Also, comment below if you want any more in-depth stuff on anything, really. Let me know what you think. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the seal, oil, service the shock up, get it all ready to go, flip the bike around, do the forks. Fortunately, this PDS shock already has a bladder done to it, so that's going to make this whole job way easier. I'm a huge fan of the bladder kit on KTMs because I really think the bladder works better than the piston. Prove me wrong, but I don't know. It's just a way better setup. So it's also a lot more simple and easier to service, especially if you're doing it yourself and you're not taking it to a shop. So I like the bladder kit. Makes my life easier. It makes your bill less if you bring it to me.
I got a girl, and she
this is what the inside of a normal PDS. If you remember from the other video, the Explorer PDS is different than this. All this is a little bit different. Basically, it works the same. You got valving in here, in here. Oil goes through it, moves the shims, all that stuff. But it's a little bit different looking. So, gotta take this apart. Gonna put a new seal in here. Clean this all up, put it all back together, and then move on to the forks. 22. Again, super trick. Take something like this is an old pick, but old screwdriver, something like that, put it down in here. Slide everything off. Keeps it all in order. Just like that. Alright guys, so if you're doing work on a shock, especially these KTM PDS shocks, this adjuster right here gets seized all the time. In fact, we stock that adjuster because it gets seized so often. So when I'm servicing a shock, I like to take this apart and actually put grease in there and put it all back together. It's super duper important. So it's a 15mm socket. Take this out. That's just the keeper. And honestly, at this point, all you need to do is dribble some oil down inside there. I like to use this stuff, penetrating grease, spray it down in there. It'll go down in, and then it sets up as a grease. Keep it in good shape. There we go. There's an O-ring down in there that helps protect that. So something not a lot of shops do because they don't know. Or maybe I shouldn't say not a lot, but I know some shops don't do that. So just a quick, easy thing to do to make sure that that thing doesn't seize up. Because when they do, this whole thing's a nightmare. Trying to get that out when it seizes is a real pain. All right, just like with forks and other shocks, a little bit of red Scotch-Brite, twist it back and forth. Helps if you got any scratches or anything like that. It definitely helps knock those down, but it also helps put a nice crosshatch on that shaft that then makes that hold oil a little bit better for that seal to slide up and down. New seal in here. A little bit of grease. Help that slide over. Valving, all in order. Gonna get these threads all cleaned up and dry so we can put some Loctite on there. Nope.
When the sun says it's daylight, oh, the moon says it's night. I gotta go, she's mine, all mine. I gotta go.
So first, we just put air in it because we're going to test it now. So we bled it the old school way, which is how I like to do it because I don't want to spend $3,500 on a shock pump. And this works just fine. But now we got to test it. So we got to push this down and make sure we don't feel any air as it comes back up. And that feels real nice and smooth, just like I like it. And when you push it down, if there was air in there, you'd be able to feel it going tick, 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 tick. That's why I keep my finger on it up here. So we're good. Now we can put nitrogen in it. And if we did feel any air in it, it's no big deal. Take it back apart, bleed it. It's not, you know, not a huge thing. So now, I'll let that air out. We're going to put 160 pounds of nitrogen in it. Shock's done. Time to put it back on the bike.
And he was jerking and she was shaking. She ripped that muscle clean.
That's so much good. That's awesome. That's spray grease. That stuff's really good. It goes on real thin and penetrates, and it sets up.
Sets up, stays sticky.
The other version I have actually has a door hinge on it. It's like what that's for.
That's a big metal door.
Yeah, no, that'll be perfect. That stuff works really good.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, no problem. All right, time to do the forks. These are super duper classic, old school, open chamber WP forks. I have a video of those. I'll pop a little card up here so you guys can click on that and go check that other thing. Also, there'll be a link in the description for that. Also, I'm going to have a link in the description for all of the tools that we use. If you're interested, they're on Amazon. If you guys buy that stuff on Amazon through my links, I do make a little bit of money. Helps the channel out. Helps me keep doing this for you guys. I won't be going over anything real specific in this quick thing because, like I said, this is just the Daily Shlog, so what we do. If you guys want to know any more, comment below. Also, like I said, check out the other video. We go in depth on how to do these things.
She is so fine. When the sun says it's daytime, or the moon says it's night, I gotta go. She's mine, all mine. I got a girl. She is so fine. I can't help thinking about her all the time. I gotta go. She's mine, all mine.
Sweet, we got the forks and the shock done. That thing is all ready to go for the motor. We're just waiting on the cylinder to come back from Millennium. We sent that out into last week, so it'll probably be a couple weeks before we get it back. So we're going to push her off into the corner for now and wait. As soon as the cylinder gets back from Millennium, I'm going to have a whole bunch more content on splitting the cases, installing a crank, top end, all that good stuff on this bike. So make sure you subscribe because it should be super informative. So, all right, next task. I think we got a four-wheeler we got to work on. But again, like I said, it's kind of part of the deal during the winter. All right, so the next task is this ATV over here. And I'm not going to bore you guys with that. If something interesting happens on it, like I have to fix something that might be the kind of thing that you might have to do on a dirt bike or something like that, I'll definitely show you. But I think it's just a full service. I got to fix a gas leak, which is probably a dirty carburetor. And yeah, it's an ATV. And I want to be real clear though about ATVs. I don't love them for recreation. I don't want one. I have no use for one in my life. But I completely and totally understand why people like them, why they have them, all that stuff. And I am so very thankful that people bring them to me to work on because it gives me something to do to make money, especially in the wintertime when it's slow for dirt bikes. So I just want to be real upfront about the fact that while they are not my favorite thing, they're not my passion in life, I'm very happy to work on them. But I'm not going to bore you guys with it unless it's something super interesting. So I'm going to get after it. We'll talk to you at the end of the day. Oh, right on, guys. Thanks for joining me for episode 4 of the Daily Shlog. Hope you guys enjoyed that. The ATV did not have anything interesting going on. It was just actually a loose fuel line and a service. And anyway, so yep, back to dirt bikes. And we got some really cool stuff coming, so stick with us. We got a big bore kit on a 85. We got the whole crank and everything, transmission, everything to do on a 300. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell so that you know when we're doing our new videos. Thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it. Please get out and spread the gospel of two wheels and find some time to ride your dirt bikes.